Hey guys, it's Kat and it is time to update you on my Back to MAC project pan. So this is a little capsule project pan. It's a 3-month project pan. I explain more about it in my intro video, which I'll link down below. But essentially the premise is Back to MAC is ending pretty much worldwide as far as I've heard. I've heard various sources. It's ending in the US, in the UK, in Europe. I've heard other people saying that they think it's still going, so check with your local MAC. I don't know, but in Australia and New Zealand, it's definitely ending by the 31st of March, and it sounds like that's almost globally, except for possibly Asian countries. I know MAC is really popular in China and South Korea, so maybe it's continuing there. I don't even know if it started there. I have no idea. So as far as I'm aware, it's ending, and I want to Back to MAC products while I still can. So in Australia, you can swap 6 empty packaging, like bottles, tubes, compacts, for a bullet lipstick, and it's got to be of certain formulas, not the new formulas, not the interesting new formulas, the bog standard matte, retro matte, cream sheen, amplified, those sort of original formulas you can swap one out for. So my goal for this project is to end up with 12 empties, whether they're products that I've decided I don't want to keep anymore and I'm going to declutter, or if I've legitimately used them up. I want 12 empties to swap in for 2 new lipsticks. Now the 2 shades I want to swap in for are shades that I am trying to pan. I'm just trying to replace them. So I've got Lady Danger, which is a red that I love. I'm not wearing it at the moment because I'm testing out a new lipstick. A red that I love, 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 and my favorite nude is Velvet Teddy. It's a classic, and I just thought I should get updated versions of these. These are getting fairly old. I know I can use them fairly frequently, so my goal is to swap in 12 products for 2 fresh versions of these. So I've seen a few people talk about Back to MAC ending and trying to like either use up products or just sort of declutter products that they no longer want. I want to clarify a few things. Yes, they definitely do take limited edition packaging. I know that for a fact because I remember taking in a few, and one of the staff members was saying, I love looking at the old packaging. That's one of like the favorite things that she likes to do, is see the old collections come in from years and years ago. So you definitely can bring in limited edition packaging. From my experience, you can't take in minis. So like mini Fix Plus tubes or bottles, sorry. But then I've also heard that some places do take them. So if they reject them, maybe just take them to another place and hope that they accept them. I'm not sure, but I did probably sometime later last year try to take in, I think 2 or 3 small Fix Plus empties, and they didn't accept them. So yeah, full-size products, but limited edition is a-okay. So where I'm currently at, and I didn't talk about this in my intro, but I have 4 MAC empties ready to go. So I want to use up or empty out 8 products to make it to the 12. Now, I don't know if this mascara is going to be accepted because technically this is a mini size. It's not like a sample size or anything. I did legitimately buy it, but it is the smaller version of the mascara. So I'm hoping that they do accept this. It makes my job a little bit easier. Otherwise, I need to come up with 9 empties. So yeah, this is where my starting point. Now, I have made a bit of progress on some products in just the month that I've been using this. But I've also realized that I've definitely bitten off more than I can chew, because I have like full-size blushes, full-size bronzer, full-size eyeshadows. Like, I'm not going to get through that in the next 6 weeks. No way, no how. So I'm just going to show you my progress and where I'm at, or where my head is at with what I'm going to do with the products. So the first one is my MAC Fix Plus Matte. Now, I have been using this quite a lot. You can see that it started up here and it's down to there. So I will use this realistically in the next, let's say that took me 4 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, I'll use this up. So this one is guaranteed. I'm going to have this done. And I'm so confident that I'm going to have this done by next check-in that I'm going to add in a new MAC Fix Plus. This is the Cherry Blossom limited edition one. It's up to there. And I feel like if I'm following the same sort of path as the matte one, hopefully I'll be able to get this one done by the end of March and be able to trade both these in. So that's where I'm up to with Fix Plus. The only other thing I'm seeing really good progress on is my Stereo Rose Mineralized Skin Finish, which was in my project pan towards the end of last year. So I already had it in a project pan. I'm wearing it today. This is as my blush highlighter. I love this so much. I wish they brought this out as a permanent so I can easily repurchase it, because I don't want to see this go because I love it so much. But at the same time, it's probably going on like 5, 6, 7 years. Like it's very old. So I'm forcing myself to use it, but I'm enjoying it. It adds something beautiful to my makeup every day, even if I'm just wearing a bit of powder foundation and something really light. It just gives this beautiful glow when you sort of sweep it on your cheeks and high points. So I love this. I can use it in large areas. I can use it in large quantities, and I have actually hit pan on it. So I'll zoom in, but I will have a photo comparison on the screen as well. So there you go. That is the pan there. And my kid did scratch it. So you'll see in the photo from last check-in that there was a scratch all the way through, but the middle has been hit, and I think I can just expand that out, and realistically in the next, say, 6 weeks, I should be able to use most of this to a point where I'm happy to get rid of it. So I really need to knuckle down on this to use it up, because again, it's not a product that I want to waste. I love it so much that it would be an absolute shame to waste any of it. So my goal is definitely to use it as much as possible and get full use out of it. So, but that one should theoretically be done. I have lost all hope that I'm gonna make any dent in these. Now I have a MAC Give Me Life bronzing powder. Look, there's going to be not much usage compared to last time. Maybe you can see a tiny little dent in the middle. I'm not too sure. I am wearing this as a bronzer today, but I have to go so light-handed with it because it's just not the right shade for me. It's too dark and it's a little bit too sort of terracotta toned. On me anyway, this tends to look quite red, and it ends up looking like a really warm blush. It's also a drier formula, and I find that when I do try to pick up a bit more, it can look a little bit patchy on the skin. So it's best for me to go very, very light-handed, which means that this could theoretically last me 2 years of use if I wanted to use it up. Luckily, I'm not that in love with it. I like it. I've mainly been honestly wearing this as an eyeshadow. I do have it sort of a little bit of bronzer here today just to warm up my face a little bit, but I've also got it in my crease. So I'm going to keep using this, but I am fully prepared that I'm going to be decluttering this and adding this as a back to MAC regardless of where I get to. I'm definitely not going to finish it up. I'm definitely not going to hit pan, but I also don't want to keep it just because it's the wrong shade. I could give it to someone, I could, but I also want fresh new lipsticks. So I'm going to sacrifice this at the end of the project. Sort of similar vibe with the blush. So this is the I'm Not Blushing Powder Blush Duo. This I quite like. I originally went into this project thinking I can use this as a bronzer and that as a blush, and I can use it up pretty fast. But the top color, even though it does look like a bronzer compared to the shimmery blush, it is really sort of peachy toned, and it looks very peachy rosy on my face. So I can't actually use it as a bronzer because it's just too pink. This blush, even it's very, very soft. I probably can get a lot more use out of it, but I don't feel like it's anywhere near as pretty as Stereo Rose. So I'm going to swatch it compared to it. It's a similar color. I just think the finish, this one's just a lot more glowy. So that's Stereo Rose, which has a beautiful sort of shine to it, and just like it just makes the skin look really healthy. Whereas this is just your standard sort of peachy, shimmery pink blush. So similar colors, which is why also I can't really layer them. It just ends up being blush overload, and I much prefer this. So that's my sort of focus. So again, I'm going to keep using this and keep playing with it when it's, I don't know if you can see, when I look at this, just like looking at it, you can see such a big difference between the two. This has like a beautiful sheen to it, and this looks like a satin, but I don't know if it's showing as well on camera, but I can definitely see this picks up the light really nicely and sort of reflects the light, and this just looks like a blush. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to use this as much as I can, but realistically, it's doubling up with Stereo Rose, and I just prefer to use that one. So this one is another product that I don't want it to go back into my collection because I just don't think it's going to get much use. So regardless of where I get to at the end of this project, this one is also going to be decluttered. Now, unfortunately, I do think that is sort of the common story with a lot of these products. They're either products that I really love and can realistically use by the deadline, or they're products that I just wasn't sure about and I wanted to see where they go. So a lot of these are actually just going to be gone to the sacrifice gods. It's just going to be a way for me to declutter them and trade them in for something that I'll get more use out of. But realistically, another product that I can use up is my lip product. So this is the MAC Prep and Prime Lip. Now this is a lip primer. I have been trying to use it underneath lipsticks. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'll just use it as like a lip balm. The problem is that it tends to, if you've got a bit of a base on and it sort of mixes with any powder or any foundation on your lips, it tends to look really white, and it also tends to feel a bit tacky. So I don't love this as a lip balm on its own. I've been trying to use this. I do have Progress. Now, silly me, I was looking at the Progress the other day and I actually snapped this off. So I've had to push it back in. So it's not sitting as nice and pretty as it was originally. I'll have a comparison on the screen of where it was up to last check-in versus now. But if I just keep using it on a semi-regular basis and as a lip balm, like I should get this done. So I'm hopeful. I thought I was going to see more progress in my lipsticks because these are some of my favorite lipsticks. Lady Danger, like I said, I'm not wearing it today because I'm testing out this new Maybelline lip product. But whenever I do wear, whenever I have worn a lip recently, it's been this. I've probably applied it, I want to say maybe 10 times. Maybe just shy of 10 times. So it's not enough to see like really great usage, but I will start to ramp that up. I will have a comparison on the screen. I don't think there's any visible progress, which scares me because I've only got 6 weeks to get this done. But also this one is years old. So if I need to sacrifice a little nub that's like probably past its use by date in order to get a fresh one, I'm just going to do it. It's not hard, but I will endeavor to use this and try to reapply it. The problem with this lip product is it lasts so well on me. I don't have to reapply too often. So when I do wear it, like if I wear it in an afternoon or something, I don't have to worry about it until I take it off. And that is problematic because I need to get usage, which means reapplying. So I'm not really reapplying this as often as I should. MAC Velvet Teddy. Oh, I love this nude. It's one of my perfect nudes ever. Mind you, I'm just going to mention, I've been playing on TikTok a bit. I don't know how to search TikTok. I don't know how to really watch much content besides the people I already follow. But I have been enjoying sharing little daily clips of things. Whether I'm testing out a peel mask and I want to see if it works, whether I'm showing a new top that I got, whether I am testing my perfect shade of nude based on my nipple color. I've just been doing little daily fun things on TikTok. So I will link my TikTok down below because that is where I get a lot of sort of my beauty stuff out. It's pretty much all the stuff that I don't have time to film long form content for, or it's not warranted. Like I don't think I need to film a whole video showing a Paula's Choice mask like that. I don't need to film a 10-minute video for that. That's just silly. So they're just little daily sort of makeup journeys. But I feel like Velvet Teddy is my perfect nude lip. I love it. I wear it. It goes with every look. It makes my lips look perfected. Sometimes when I'm having like a shitty makeup day, I chuck it on. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I look all right. This with some big sunglasses and it covers all sins. So I love Velvet Teddy and I can wear it most days and I have been wearing it a lot. I don't know if I've got the progress, so I'll have progress here on the screen. But where I was going with the TikTok thing is yesterday I decided to do that whole thing about finding my perfect lip tone based on my nipple color. I can tell you, my nipples are not Velvet Teddy. They're not. But if you want to find out what my perfect nude lip product color is based on my nipple color, I did do a TikTok about it yesterday. So I will link that down below. You can, if you don't have an account and you don't want to follow, that's totally fine. You can just click the link and you can watch it in your browser if you want to. But yeah, I think my perfect lip color is Velvet Teddy, but my nipples say otherwise. But they're wrong. So yeah, even though I've got heaps left, I'm going to just keep using this and keep trying to smash it out because I want to. I have seen some decent progress on my Patrick's powder. I've got weights on the screen. I think I used just under 7.5 grams. It's not enough. This is 30 grams. And from doing the makeup breakup for years, I know that generally makeup under quotes how much is in it, because if there's a big discrepancy, it's false marketing. So they generally give you a lot more than what they say on the packaging. So at the rate that I'm going of 7.5 grams per month, I've actually got a couple of months left of this easy. So what I'm going to do, and what a lot of people suggested on my intro, which I do understand, it is in the back of my mind that I'm going to do this eventually, but a lot of people are saying, like, just depot everything and just take in all your packaging. Now, if I get to a point where I've got a little bit of this left, I will depot it into another tub. But I generally don't like using depotted things. I don't know what it is. There's like a barrier. If I've got a little container and it's got like mysterious goo in it, I don't actually use it. Even if I know that it's my smudged lipstick and I can use it with a lip brush, I'm not going to use it. I'm just not going to use it. Powder, I might, if it's in like another powder compact, maybe finishing spray in another bottle, I might. But in terms of like repressing eyeshadows, depotting blushes and bronzers, I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to say, firstly, depotting and repressing, 90% of the time, eventually the product will crumble and break, and I'm just not, I just don't have the time for it. And secondly, the reason I'm getting rid of these products, well, most of them anyway, is because I don't use them, they don't suit me. So I'm even more less inclined to use them if they're badly repressed in a weird compact. So this is a product that I would depot if it gets to the point where I have too much left to say goodbye to it. I will like depot this into another tub, but these are probably the only products I'm going to do that with. So yeah, this should be empty by the time I finish this project, but I am trying to use as much as I can while it's still in its official packaging, because I just prefer to use it that way for some reason. All right, eyeshadows. Now Sea Worship is this olivey green color. It actually looks a little bit goldy and warm when you do look at it like this, and when you swatch it, you're like, yeah, that's nice. It gives this beautiful sort of gold olivey look, but for some reason on my eyes, I don't know if it's when it's blended out, it just looks sort of gray green, and it looks too smoky for what I like to wear on a daily basis. So for me, this, I'm probably gonna get like 2 more uses out of it and be like, whatever. So I'm just gonna probably trade this in because it's not a color that I like to wear. I like greeny gold, so in theory, I'm like, this should work, but there's some tone to this that makes it look smoky, and unless I'm going for a smoky eye, which I don't do very often, there is no way this is going to make any dent into it. So instead, I want to focus mainly on these. Now, Lorelei, which is in the same collection, is also an extra dimension eyeshadow. I've been using this quite a lot. Compared to the photo from last month, you should see usage. So this is the one I'm focusing most on. Now, the way that I've been getting usage out of this, there's 2 ways. Of course, using it with a brush like a normal eyeshadow, but I also feel like when you use your finger and you pick up quite a lot of it and you rub it on your eye that way, you get a better application, because this is quite sheer. Like, it's just very nude, and the texture is quite almost satin looking, so it looks very much like my skin tone, and so on me, if you put just a light wash with like a fluffy brush or something, it just doesn't do much. So I actually prefer to do it with my finger, apply it with my finger, rub it on and blend it out, and it does make a nice sort of everyday minimal makeup look. So that's what I've been doing. But also, this is actually pretty as like a rosy toned highlighter. So I'm not wearing it today, but if I did take a bit, and I'm only putting it with my finger because I don't have a brush with me, I can actually add this as like a little bit of an extra shine, even just a little bit on my nose, just a bit of like rosiness. So it just adds a little bit of extra highlight. So if I do want to go in with a bit of highlight, I have been using this as well on a brush. And I feel like when you do use a pan product on as much area as possible, you can get through it fairly quickly. So I'm hoping by next check-in that I might have pan on this, because I am seeing some good wear out of it. So this is my main focus for eyeshadow. The eyeshadows I'm wearing now is actually this, which is Golden Hours, and it's a quad, it's a baked quad. Now there's actually some usage in this. I will zoom in and show you in a second. There's some nice dents in it. Now I figured out a really good way to use this, but my eyes didn't like it. So today, all over my lid, I'm wearing this shade, which is my favorite shade. I also like this orangey shade. It's like this sort of peachy pink nude. So it's quite sheer, but if you build it up, it creates this really nice sort of, again, peachy sort of effect with this almost pink iridescence to it. So it's actually really, really pretty. Being a baked formula, these are a little bit sheer and powdery. So I find that I need to sort of really work at it to build it up, which is a bit annoying. So, because on its own, just like a sheer wash, it doesn't do much. So I don't really like these just on their own. What I was doing for a while was I was actually taking my Fix Plus, I was taking the matte one, because that's the one I'm using, and I'd wet my brush and I would go in with this shade all over the lid. I'd sometimes go with this shade all over the lid, and it really started making these nice dents in it. So I was like, yes, I might be able to hit pan on these two. I also found that if I mix the four together, so just like go into the middle, it would actually make a really nice sort of everyday brown color that I really enjoyed. So sort of like this one. A little bit warmer than this shade here, but yeah, it was just a nice color, and I thought that's a really nice way to use it. Just swirl it all around. I even got to the point where I was like, I'm liking this swirled color so much that I might just hold on to this and not back to MAC it. Now going back to this, I was using this eyeshadow foiled to get the most impactful look. So what I would do was I would pick up product on my brush, I would spray my brush a little bit with this, and I would apply it sort of damp so it really adheres to the eye and builds up without it sort of flaking off and getting quite powdery. And that looked great. I loved it. I was like, yes, I like this. I'm seeing progress. I'm making it work. But I noticed that whenever I did that, I would have really sensitive eyes. Like I'd start getting really teary eyes. Even if I was just at home and there was no like wind or air conditioning or anything sort of upsetting me, I would just like start getting really teary. So I think it might actually be this product that was causing eye irritation. So I had to stop using it that way. So I'm not sure if you can see the indents that I'm talking about, but see how there's like a little indent there, a little indent there. It's not domed like these other two. They have had a bit of use in the last month. So yeah, the MAC Fix Plus Matte isn't great for my eyes. It irritates my eyes. But what I might start doing over the next month is try it again with the Cherry Blossom version and see if that works. So if the Cherry Blossom one does work and it doesn't irritate my eyes, I'm hoping that I can get hit pan on this one and maybe that one, because they're the ones I liked using. So that's my goal. If it does irritate my eyes, I'm probably just going to get rid of this, because on its own, it's not very nice. It's just pretty lackluster. Yeah, if I can make this work, I'm going to try really hard. If I can't, it's going to go. The last thing that I'm almost just tempted to take out and be like, this is going to be returned, I don't like it, is actually this lip gloss. It is the Mamastarrr Kiss lip gloss. Now, I've tried, I'm not even going to bother weighing this. I've tried, and this is very frosty looking on me. It's like a sheer base, but it's got this sort of light iridescent pinky and goldy sort of shimmer to it. But for some reason on me, it can look quite milky. Does that look whiter than my hand? I find if I put this on, like if I put a little bit of powder on or a little bit of a base on, and there's a tiny bit of foundation left on my lips and I put this on, it just makes my lips look really, really, really milky and white and yucky. I'll have a video on the screen. And so I end up having to take it off completely, reapply a very thin amount because the too much shimmer makes it look too, yeah, frosty. And I don't like that sort of chunky white look on my lips. So yeah, I don't even think I want to bother. I've got another lip gloss in my other project pan that I enjoy so much more than this. So I'm not going to struggle. This is going to be a guaranteed trade in. I'm going to keep it in this project in case I use it a couple of times, but I'm not going to track progress. I don't care, and I'm willing to declutter this. So looking at the products and looking at the numbers, I've got 13 products in this project pan. I've got 4 empties already ready to go. 1 might not be accepted because it's a mini. I realistically can keep a few products if I don't use them up in time. So the ones I would possibly keep if I haven't used them up is Velvet Teddy, because I love it, and even if I had a backup, I wouldn't be mad. I'll just keep using it. This, because it's amazing, and if I didn't finish it up, I'm like, okay, I may as well just take my time with it because I love it. If I come around to loving this, I can keep it. And if I want to just everyday wash a color, I can keep these happily and either use up or trade in the others to meet the 8, possibly 9 that I need to make the 12 that I'm going to return. So I'm confident I can make the 12, but a lot of it is sacrificing products I don't want rather than using them up, which was the point of this project, but whatever. Time goes too fast. All right, so that's where I'm up to. I'm glad I did my intro video actually, because a lot of people have since said that they didn't know about MAC ending the program, and they've been hoarding their empties. They have enough for like 2 or 3 or 4 lipsticks. Oh, and by the way, just mentioning, each store will only accept 12 at a time, which is 2 products you trade in. So if you do have like 24 products that you want to trade in, you'll probably have to do it in a couple of either visits or going to different stores. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, a lot of people weren't aware that it was ending, and they're like, I gotta get down to my local MAC store and trade them in. So if you are one of those people, please do it before it ends, because get your free lipsticks. You paid for them. Let's be real. The MAC prices are so high, they factored in this return thing. They factored in those extra lipsticks, so you deserve it, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let me know how you're going, if you're trying to use up some MAC products, if you are doing project panning, if you just want to chat to me, I'll be there in the comments. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Bye.